Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and in today's video the meal bin is being filled. He's actually at it at the minute. I was told to be here at 7:30 and he was here quite early, so I'm a bit on the late. But anyways, we'll get in and see the bin being filled, and I don't know what's going to come after that. I think Liv said she'd take the camera and so show what she gets up to for the rest of the days. We're going back at slurry, the lovely liquid brown gold. Anyways, we'll get in and see this bin being filled. And filled. We're filling both sides with calf, wean and rear from Liffey Mills. So the next nut that the calves go on to. So we'll be on in. So now that's the meal. How many ton?
14 ton.
14 tons, so 7 aside, and it holds 8, so or 16.
Well,
so
we
it's
probably have 8 one side and 6 the other.
right. So that's it in. So for those of you that may not be aware of what's happening, it's been blown in. So there's a blower on the back of the lorry. So when the lorry tips up, you can see the pipes on the back there, and it goes into an auger into the blower, and it literally gets blown up into the bin. And that's why there's two pipes. One is for connecting, the other one is the exhaust, and that's why there's all the dust around the base of it there. But anyways, that's it full. That's how it gets full. So well, we have to draw some of it down now.
Yeah, we might have some of it done there.
Oh, he has.
Yeah, just draw down some so it doesn't stick. You're bridging it.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll be ready to feed calves. So what's in that is wean and rear pencil, and what we're feeding the calves at the minute is calf 18. So the calf 18 is 18% protein. What's in that is 16%
protein, so the calves are going out to grass.
Yeah, it's cheaper a ton anyways than the calf 18, and that's what you do. You start them off in the higher protein. When you get them out to grass, you start cutting them back
a little. Draw off and put a bag off each one.
That's the wean and rear nut.
Wean and rear, in a nut.
The bin, as compared to last year when we were buying it by the 25 kilo bags of pallets, will save us an awful lot of mess. And we're not going to lose any of it to the birds or the rats or the vermin, mice, none of that, or the dogs. Nelly was having some of it earlier, weren't you? You were eating some of the spillage, weren't you, Nelly? So anyways, yeah, that's it full. There's not much else to say about it. So
it just does what it does. It's like rod seal. It does what it says in the tin.
That is all the meal we will be buying for the calves this year. 14 ton. It's a lot less than we buy other years, but we're going to make that do. As everyone knows, the price of meal is ridiculous. You just couldn't afford to. You basically can't afford to farm how we farmed last year, where everyone has to make cutbacks. I don't think the increase in what we're getting for the beef, or you get for the milk, or get for anything, is going to cover the cost to farm as we done last year. So we all have to make cutbacks. So there's going to be a big reduction in output. The calves this year, with what we have in there, we're going to stretch what's in the bin with some of our own barley we have left over and beans, maybe put in a bit of molasses just to stretch it. But the calves probably won't do as well as other years because they just won't be getting as much of the same protein. But what can we do? We have to make the changes needed. Also, that is all the fertilizer we have for the year. The top pallets are sown manure, the last ones are nitrogen, and that has to do us. This is like everything. We have to make do with what we have. But I'm just walking down to the calf shed down here because you probably may have noticed we haven't done a whole lot with the calves. There's a reason for that. Not going so well, just not going so well at all. So we're in the new shed now. We only cleaned out the bottom half of the shed yesterday. because the little beggars got the drinker turned over and filled the place up with water. So we had to get them cleaned out. And while I had done it, put the combine head down below so it was in out of the way, because we're not letting them down at the bottom of the shed. I don't even know, did I ever show you since we done that? But what you can tell is, from not having them down there, we also didn't bed this area here because we're keeping it swept down. What we could see after we kept them up and we pushed that away was the amount of water that they'd normally be lying on. We just don't let them down there. We keep this area here and we keep it swept down. Just try to do what we can. But one thing you may know is a lot of fairly empty, raggy calves. This shed isn't too bad, it has improved. And these lads are eating meal quite well. I better just check the feeder level. Like, kill me if I don't. Draw powder. Right. Sound the camera points and make professor. So, we have the powder in. So, this stuff here, which we got sent to us to try. And, well, when we read the application rate, we weren't really going to use it because that 3 kilo tub is to do 6 kilos. It's minimum application rate will treat 6 kilos of microplacer. So not a lot of that has to go in per bag, but we're putting in more than what their minimum dosage is. But we have found a bit of an improvement. It's probiotics, that's what it is, and we have seen an improvement in the calves since doing it. But this shed, we think our biggest issue is scour again. We've never had major issues with scour in the past, but we know the other shed got rotavirus. This shed never got as bad at doing a scour as the other shed, but you can see in a lot of the calves, some of the calves are perfect, smashing lumps of calves. The amount of calves we're feeding is starting to come back. We're also going with probiotics instead of the Bemis that we were using for scours. Some of the farmers we're working for swear by it. I think it's working, Liv doesn't think it's working. So it's tough, it's just really tough. Mortality rate so far, touch wood, isn't too bad. I think we've lost 5 altogether between the 2 sheds, which is brilliant. Brilliant for getting in this far. We've no issues, no real issues with pneumonia. It's just this bloody scour and the calves just being raggy. And we went through everything, feeders, application rates, we've done everything, but they're just, it's whatever bit of a bug. It's just annoying. This shed has improved quite a bit since we got them on that probiotic. You can see some of the bigger calves, there's not a loss in them. The other shed seems to be getting worse at the minute, so we'll just tip up that far, and then I'm going to go at slurry and leave Liv the camera. I think she wants to do some vaccinating in here, and she'll just go check on the cattle outside now. She'll bring you around for a day with her afterward. But so just in the other shed, just after opening up the door, I think there's not that we need to take bales down and get more air. Father Phil says it's too cold for the cows to keep the door shut, so shut and I open that day, that's a compromise. But as you'll tell while we walk through here, lock offen. So scour doesn't seem to be too much of a problem here, but they're not. You can see quite a few raggy calves, and we're just starting to, we were down on 2, 4, 6 calves to feed every day. Now we're up on 10, 12, which is saying calves are getting sick. Starting to get quite a bit of pneumonia in the shed, and particularly in the last batch of calves that came, because we had to wait for vaccines that were ordered to come, and they didn't get done. I think they were a week late getting their second vaccine, or their booster vaccine for Pastrella, and them calves seem to be worst affected. But the other calves are starting to kind of get now. It's just, you can see all hear the coughing. But I did go through the calves because the most of them here are actually starting to come off milk, and about 20% I think. It's a bit higher than normal, but about 20% of the calves I had to keep on milk or put back days on milk to give them a bit more. Rotavirus absolutely destroyed this shed of calves. The other shed of calves, which is much younger, are eating far more meal than these lads. These lads are tight eating a bag a day. Yeah, just not a great year for calves. But anyways, I'm going to go off a slurry. Leave Liv the camera to show whatever she's going to do for the day, but yeah, just not a great year for calves.
So the calves are fed in both sheds. This shed took a long time, about an hour. The other shed didn't take as long, so only about an hour and a half this morning feeding calves. So now we have to go and feed the pigs and then push in. We fed, they're on super sour pellets now and a little bit of our own meal. barley, wheat and oats mix. They're doing well. They've got nice fresh bedding because yesterday they decided to flood their whole pen with their drinker. So they have nice fresh bedding. And Bertha's actually due on heat this week again. Well, hopefully not on heat. So hopefully she doesn't come on heat, because that means she's pregnant and she held the AI. So we'll see how she goes. I have to go and push in and see which calves need feeding, how much food they've got left and what they need for today. So you can see in the time lapse, everyone has quite a bit left apart from the last guys, which is these, the bulls. So we've pushed into their last little bit. So we'll let them eat that up and then we'll probably feed them after dinner, maybe just before dinner. Heifers up the road on an out farm, so we're going to take the gator up the road and we'll see how they are because they need water as well. You coming, Nanny? Come on. Great timing because it's just about to piddle it down. These are bullocks and heifers. There's 25 of them and there's no water on this farm, so the Bowser is here to give them a drink. They've not been very thirsty. They're here to eat all this off and then it'll be tilled. I think it's maize going in here or beet, don't know which, but it's just absolutely pissing down. So we're going to make a run for it. I'm now and it's 20 to 12, so I think we'll do some of the diet feeding just before dinner and get that done and out of the way. So we'll get some of the feeding done now, hop in the telly, we'll feed the bulls and we might give the heifers a bit too. We'll see how we get on. So we'll start the tractor and feeder up. The step's gone, so it's quite a leap into this tractor now. And now, so back on zero. They're just getting silage and a bit of whole crop. They've got a bit left, but we'll give them more to keep them going, so we'll have to feed them later. So we'll put this into the heifers. Is in. That's all the feed I'm doing now. It's 12:30 now, so I have some merchandise orders packaged up in the shop, and then dinner time. Then after dinner, gonna vaccinate some calves for IVR. So we just had dinner, and now we're gonna do IVR vaccinations for calves. So it's intranasal, so it goes up the nose. So we use this thing, and it fires up the nose. But first we have to mix two together. So I vaccinated this shed today, 50 of them, so it'll be the 50 that came in first. You have to use all 50 doses at once, because once it's mixed up you have to use it within 2 hours, I think. So I'll get 50 of these done. Try and show you how to do it if I can film and dose with one hand. So the way we do it, this is the list of my first 20 calves. So as I do each one, I'll rub the number off and then I know who's done. We don't pen them up or anything. I'll show you how I do it in a minute. I just go up to them one by one and dose them, just to try and reduce the amount of stress on them. Don't want them bunched up or anything. But I'll try and do, I have a candidate here for doing. So I'll try and set the camera up. And that's it. Straight up his nose, and that's it. I think some people do a mil up each nose, up each nostril. We just do the 2 mil up the one nostril, and then he just lies there, licks his lips. So I'll set this up on time lapse somewhere. So he is 33.14, so I can rub the 3.14 off. So 49 to go. Vaccinated for IBR, so they'll get another IBR once they go outside for the first time. They'll get a booster, so they get 2 pneumonia vaccines and 2 IBR vaccines. They're very happy. You wouldn't even know they've been done. Some of them even enjoy it. I think they like the taste of it. A few jobs to do: pick up multivitamin from town, and then it's back to this evening and feeding the calves again. So I think Philip was saying at the start of the video that with calves not really thriving in the hay shed, so I just went to the vets and picked up some multi-min that we heard from other farmers that it was really good. So we're going to give them all a shot of this. It's only a mil each, so we'll put it in one of these and we'll give them all a shot. So the minerals, we'll see if that works. I'm sure Philip will let you all know if it's any good. Next job now is shop time. And then later on this evening we'll come in and time to feed all the calves again.
Alright, so apparently in Liv's world it went from her cam to my cam, since I don't know why. She's writing down all the numbers, there's so many! So yay, I have to help.
Finish the video, you're done. So before I go off and move a chicken coop, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed Liv Cam, and whatever Liv got up to, she still hasn't told me what she got done. But yeah, the hill to hunt, calves aren't just going at all. So farmer was actually with today, spreading slurry. He suggested, you already done that? Okay, Liv's already done that. But the farmer was with today suggested trying the multi-mineral injection, which is something I actually thought we couldn't get anymore. I was told we couldn't get it. If I knew we could get it, I'd be giving it to every calf coming in, because you never know what kind of deficiencies are on the farms the calves come from. So it's a bit windy. We're going to leave it at that for today's video. Calves are just a pain in the ass at the minute, but hopefully they come to. Hopefully, Liv. Hopefully. Anyways, we're going to leave it at that for today's video. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. We're also nearly at 60,000. So yeah, 60,000. Yeah. Also, that remix of Declan Ernie's song is excellent on iRadio. Anyways, we'll leave it at that for today's video. That is it from us. Good luck.